the Get Up and Shine show, where your host Lillian Taylor brings you intimate and inspiring interviews from people who faced off with serious life struggles and prevailed. As our guests revisit with the moments, realizations, and tools that helped them break through, you might just walk away more empowered in your own life. It's that time. Get up and shine.
Hi, this is Lillian Taylor with Get Up and Shine.
You can't live in fear of what may not be, but instead relish in the possibilities of what can be.
Are you one of those people who, despite having a good paying, steady job, just wants to walk away from it all? Do you have a self-critical voice in your head saying, they're right. I should want to be here. I should want to be safe. And all the while, you're dying inside? Is dying inside because you're really not pursuing your passion safe? Jessie Campo.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Lillian, for having me here on your show.
I'm glad to have you here. So I want you to tell the audience, I know all about how fabulous you are, but I want you to tell the audience a little bit about your career before we get started and get into the meat of it.
Well, my name is Jessie Campo. I am an international recording artist, singer-songwriter. I am bilingual, originally born in New York, and I have been in this industry recording, making music for a long time.
Now, last year there was a Grammy nomination, is that right?
Well, my fourth album was considered for a nomination in the Latin category in the American Grammys and also in the pop category in the Latin Grammys.
In 2014?
16.
16. Okay.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
And which album was that?
That album was called La Pasión de la Lupe.
Te pedí que no fuera leal comprensión, que supieras que no hay en la vida otro amor como mi amor.
All of my albums have usually been bilingual singer-songwriter albums. Finally, the fourth album, decided to go back to my Cuban roots because of my father, who was a performer back in the days in Cuba at the Tropicana. I went ahead and went back to my Cuban roots and did a tribute album to the Cuban diva La Lupe, who was one of the first Latinas to ever be on American television here in New York in the 50s and 60s.
Cool. And then what are you doing right now?
Wow. A lot of wonderful things have started to manifest. After so many years of doing everything as a self-made artist, because all the videos, all the albums have been a self-made artist, as a producer, as everything, recently found a production company and a management company that has signed me and is going to be starting their production and management into taking my career to the next level, which I have been ready for a long time.
Fantastic. All right, so our show, Get Up and Shine, is about the glory, but it's about the path to the glory. It is about sharing challenging circumstances and difficult things that people have gone through, what their emotional trials were, what they used in order to get past those, what sort of resources and tools they went to, what choices they had to make, what was their motivation. For people who perhaps are in positions as you have been, and I'm not exactly certain what you're going to talk about, you're going to share what you feel comfortable sharing as intimately as you feel inclined to do, to help people, to help other people who might find themselves in similar circumstances so they can kind of follow, we're giving them tools.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So tell me that part of the story. That's a big breath.
Being an artist is the most liberating feeling you could have when you're truly allowed to follow your passion. But it is also very highly criticized.
Yes.
By society, by family, as follow your passion, but don't be an artist because you're never going to succeed unless you're famous. Mm-hmm. And there's different levels of what success definition, everybody's definition of a white picket fence is very different.
Right.
Success, I think, should be defined by how we live our lives and how we treat others and how we are able to do everything we love to do with other human beings in this universe and spread the joy and the inspiration, the motivation that we were put on this earth. I think that going back to the challenges of being an artist when you're trying to make it and you don't have a team in place, you find yourself that your artistry sometimes suffers because you're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to find a way to do everything. And it is doable. When I say I'm self-made and self-produced, without investors and without the proper funds to start a project, I have finished every project I've started by the grace of God.
So you've had to fund it yourself. You had to scrimp and scrap and
absolutely
and learn how to do things that other people would normally be doing for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you just have to move a little bit more slowly toward the goals when you're the sole source of everything.
A little slower, but you still set goals for yourself within those parameters. And at the end of the day, something in the universe collides. It's like The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. You know, you're on that journey. And along the journey, everything conspires to get you there. And it's always been that way. The minute you set that intention, all of a sudden everything starts falling into place.
Now, the person who introduced us, you performed with him. You were touring, was it Japan at that time?
Yes, I happened to have a band that toured throughout Asia. And I had contracted the gentleman that you met, that introduced us. And we went ahead and toured Singapore, Taipei, several places in Asia. And then from that, I ended up meeting him in another capacity, or he approached me in another capacity with my production company. And hence, that's where you and I met.
Putting on the Miami Web Fest.
Yes, absolutely.
Very nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's back up. So you're talking to me about how there is a lack of support from society and from friends and family saying that you're not going to make it. And emotionally, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's tough because every morning you've got to wake up and say, you know what, I am going to make it. Who cares what anybody says? I am going to make it. I have to believe, I have to continue. But there are times when, because we're all human, you know, the forces conspire so much and you're like, maybe somebody's got some sense they're saying, and then you for a second you may doubt yourself. And that's when you want to kind of give it all up and say, okay, I'm done. I can't keep going against everything, but I know in my heart it's right. So there's this internal struggle. So that happened to me at the beginning of this year. I was like, I'm done. I've got to figure out. And I realized it wasn't so much that I was done with my passion and my craft. And it just came to me just now. It was that I was done with trying to do everything else that everybody else thought I had to do to be able to be okay.
What does that mean? Like, okay, so you decided...
regular job.
Okay. All right.
You know, a regular job. Make sure that your bills are all paid. You know, make sure that you have extra savings in the bank account.
Right.
You know, all the stuff that, okay, that's fine. But if you're sacrificing your soul, you're selling out to have a regular job, a regular situation, and it's conflicting with your internal passion and who you truly are, you're not living in a state of being present. I repeat, I believe God gave me a gift. Why would I deny that?
And suppress it.
And suppress it when I have lived with this gift.
So you have compromised and done what everybody else said that you could do, and then you had, you know, the successful job, and you were making the money, and you were paying the bills, but inside, you were just dying.
Yeah, and then I reached a point where I think at the end of last year, beginning of this year, I crashed. I hit rock bottom.
What does that mean?
Emotionally, I was depleted of me.
Depleted of you.
Depleted of me, of my true essence. And it was
because of working in not your field.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And I thought, who am I doing this? I don't have a husband that I have to respond to. I don't have kids I have to respond to. Why am I compromising my values and who I am for what I'm supposed to be doing? Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? And then in the process, I was still I was struggling with that. And I'm a member of the Latin Singer-Songwriters Hall of Fame. And I went to a networking event. And while I was there, I was about to leave, and I looked up, and I saw a gentleman standing there. I introduced myself as singer-songwriter. We talked for a little bit, exchanged some numbers, and it turned out later in the past few months that this person owned a production company.
This is the guy you were talking about.
Yeah, management, production company, and he said, well, why haven't you made it? I go, I mean, that's the question of the century. I done the right thing, so I truly believe I needed a team behind me. I've done as much as I can do alone.
Right.
4 albums, 5 music videos, 6 songs in a movie. My music is in jukeboxes all over the United States. I mean, I've done as much as I could.
So you're getting royalties. You are earning.
A
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. So I said, you know what? I've been looking for someone that believed in what I do.
Okay, now, you told me that you have, in the past, been able to buy a house and have a really nice, fine car, and doing all of that with your music. When was that? Like, what were you doing at that time that you hit that milepost?
I was running a record label with my brother. I had a production company, and I was performing, and I was focusing on the back end of the business during that time in my life.
What is the back end? What is that?
It was running record labels, managing artists.
So you were helping other people to fulfill their dream.
I was helping other people fulfill their dreams.
And did that feel good for you?
It felt great. It felt wonderful.
Okay.
It felt wonderful. I still do some of it today because I do coaching, voice coaching, for young artists that want to audition for The Voice or American Idol or get into conservatories or schools. I prepare them, I prep them, and I do artist development and voice coaching.
How do they find you? JessieCampo.com? Or
well, I mean, you can always find me on Jessie Campo Music on Facebook and Twitter, Jessie Campo Music, but it's word of mouth. I mean, right now I have a student, which is an amazing musical theater artist, so talented. I am preparing her for a camp she's going to go to this summer. And I met her because they saw me performing at the Miami Wet Fest Music Awards a few years ago.
Okay.
So it's everywhere and anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So tell me more about some of that. I don't know where to start. I just feel like there's something that you can share. I don't know whether you're prepared to share it. I can see something in your eyes. I can see something. I mean, you are always such a light, and you're always so positive, and you're always bringing the joy and have an uplifting attitude and positive and forceful. I have never seen you depleted. Never. Never. I can't even imagine that.
Wow.
You're like a force of nature.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What got you through when you were doubting? What got you able to step past? I know, at the same time, as an artist myself, who I don't know that I'm compromised because I do appreciate being able to do business for people. I help people in the business world, and it does feel good as long as that's not all I do.
Right, exactly.
I have to be able to fulfill myself, and I need to sit down at the piano and write when I feel like it, or sketch, or what have you. How deep did it go, and what did you do to get out of that space and convince yourself that
chokes you up? Yeah.
You choked up because of this?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, the throat chakra is kind of. I reached out to two friends who know and have seen that light you mentioned throughout my life, and they reminded me. And I reached out to my God, and He sent signs, and He reminded me. I was reminded that I was a gift, and that life is a gift. A present, as they say.
Absolutely.
And we must be in the present because it is a present. And that in order to do that, you can't live in fear of what may not be, but instead relish in the possibilities of what can be. And you have to say goodbye to all the things that in the past have hindered you or have prevented you from moving forward.
So it took some bravery.
Yeah.
And some willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. Willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. That's where I am right now.
Yeah. You gotta have the guts to say, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, it's like swim or sink.
And you know, because you've done it before, that you can swim.
Oh yeah, please. I don't really swim because I really don't know how to swim physically, but metaphorically, I've been swimming. I've swum marathons, been there and come back, and there's no reason why I can't do that again. There's no reason. So I'm ready. And you asked a few minutes ago, what is it that you're doing now? Well, here's what's happening right now. I'm about to embark on a journey. And the journey came to me after I met this management company, and they were telling me the ideas they had and plans they had, and I was very inspired. As they inspired the dream, I'm going to call it the dream, as they inspired the dreams and the possibilities, I started feeling a rebirth. So basically, we are right now working on a collection. I can't reveal the title of that collection. And this collection is going to be a collection of singles that are going to be released with collaborations of different genres and different producers in different parts of the world.
Oh, fun.
So it's called The Collectible because it's a collectible effort. And we're going to be documenting this.
Oh, fun. I can't wait.
We're going to be documented. So we have some key places in the Caribbean. There's a place in the States, and there's another place in Europe, which we'll be going to.
Nice. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes. And collaborating. That's what it's called, the collective. It's a collective of artists and minds and things coming together. So we're excited about that.
Are these originals?
Oh, of course.
Oh, nice.
Of course. And right now, the muse has kicked. Normally, I write one song from top to bottom. But right now, I'm writing 5 songs at the same time. That has never happened to me in my career.
Interesting.
It's like the muse has kicked in so intensely. It is doing several songs at the same time, and they're all related to this particular project, which is amazing.
Well, I'm so curious. I cannot wait. When is the first release? When are you dropping?
We're shooting for July. If all goes well.
That's fast.
We're shooting, yes. Well, we've been in the studio the past 2 months.
Okay.
So we're shooting for July for the first single, if all goes well. And one of our first trips and hopefully a music video that we're shooting will take place in our first trip in July.
To where? That's the Caribbean? That's the one?
That's in the Caribbean. Nice. I can't say where yet.
I want to go.
Come on. Well, aren't you going to the one we're doing in August, New Orleans?
Yes,
that one I can say. We're going to be in New Orleans in August.
Nice.
That one you absolutely.
Okay. If you need a backup singer, I want to be it.
No, head backer. You got to collaborate as an artist.
Okay.
We want the artist to collaborate. It's not backup. It's collaborative. It's together. It's fusion. It's union.
Okay.
And we're going to collaborate. If you hear something and you want to add piano, or if you want backgrounds, I mean, it's going to be a collaborative effort to the songs that are going to be recorded in each city and documented in each city.
Nice.
It's collaborative efforts.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. And then I can say for the place in Europe. The place in Europe, I've been working with Alexandra Bello, a director and producer, and we've been creating something called The Life of an Artist Behind the Scenes. And we have several series on this episode, and we're going to probably be doing something with that in Spain. And we're going to go out and do something with that. And this morning I got another call that may have other possibilities for Spain, but I can't say either. Yes.
All right. So your message is stay the course.
Stay the course. And just when you think you're about to give up, don't, because that's when everything may change, and everything, that one moment that you think, I'm going to give up now, I got to go, I can't. That's when, in that particular moment, everything may just start manifesting. All those years, all the hard work you put in may start coming to fruition.
So the hard work really was worth it.
It always is.
Because it gave you the ability to assess who you needed, what you needed them to do.
Yes.
To know when you're getting the legitimate stuff or the compromise that you don't need to be bothered with.
Right.
Yep.
My peace is non-negotiable.
There you go. I love it.
That's going to be my mantra for, I think, the next
All right.
few weeks and months.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jessie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
At the end of the day, you have to answer to yourself. Good thing not to throw caution to the wind, but don't be afraid to take a risk. A reasonable, calculated risk. And don't give up before you get there. Because life is for living, not merely existing. Be right back. Ever thought that sharing your story might help someone else? Meet Milana Walter. Milana, tell our audience about your story your way.
Many, many times, hearing someone else's story gave me that jolt of hope needed at the time. Can your story help someone? At Your Story Your Way, we help you tell it as a short story, book, or script. No one knows your story better than you. So what are you waiting for? Visit yourstoryyourway.com.
Next week, we're going to deliver on our promise to bring you more on the cutting edge of the quantum healing methodology of boosting your health and wellness. Until then, you know what to do. Get up and shine.
We'll return next Tuesday with more great content. Catch a preview at www.getupandShineShow.com and join the mailing list for access to great tools to help you. And remember, it's your time to get up and shine.